My friend's new girlfriend ate a whole lasagna by herself when I cooked two for 10 people, and now our friendly get-togethers have been strained by her making me go over the budget while cooking for 15, for 10 people, when only 7 pay. First, I want to be clear that I do not believe in body shaming or food policing. Having lost 100 pounds myself and working on another 50, I have no place to judge anyone for what they eat. I pride myself on being a generous host who makes my guests comfortable and feeds them well. Nobody leaves my house hungry has always been my rule. I have a friend group that meets monthly at either my or Joan's home for dinner. Nobody else has enough space to host. Recently, Polly announced she had a girlfriend, which made us all happy. Polly has been lonely for a long time. I was the first to host Melissa. Melissa is 500 to 600 pounds. I've never met anyone that big, but I hid my surprise and was warm and welcoming. No problem, I have sturdy furniture. For dinner, I served bowls of salad, then soup. Melissa insisted on keeping her empty bowls at the table. I didn't think much of it, I'm not Emily Post. Then I brought out the main course, 2 9 by 13 pans of 14-layer lasagna, cut into 8 pieces each. There were 10 of us all together. I told people to dig in as I got the bread out of the oven. When I got back to the dining room, everyone looked so shocked I thought my cat had farted. His mouse farts could suffocate an elephant. Then I saw that Melissa had 4 pieces of lasagna heaped on her plate, 2 in her salad bowl, and 2 in her soup bowl. Polly was glaring like don't you dare say a word. Melissa seemed utterly oblivious. I didn't know what to do. I just sat down. Joan and I shared 1 piece of lasagna, and everyone else got a full piece. I cut the cake into equal portions for dessert, but I had to make an extra batch of sauce and get an extra tub of ice cream out. Melissa ate at least a liter. The next month, on Joan's turn, she served every course pre-plated, and when Melissa asked for extra, Joan apologized and said there was none. Truth, Joan is very organized and precise. Melissa and Polly left right after dinner, and Polly texted Joan, berating her for controlling Melissa's eating. Polly also texted me saying she trusted I'd be sensitive to Melissa's needs on my next turn. That turn is almost here. My plan was roast dinner, pork and beef. I can easily make lots of cheap veg and dessert, but meat is pricey right now, and I'd have to serve twice the norm to satisfy Melissa. I know I cannot just trust she'll take a tenth of what's there, considering she grabbed a whole lasagna last time. So do I suck it up and just buy much larger roasts? Do I make a few big batches of cheap soup and biscuits and serve that rather than strain my budget? I don't want to upset Melissa or be a stingy host, but I have never dealt with someone like this before. I was obese, but I would have eaten maybe 2 pieces of lasagna. Not 8. Do I just serve a reasonable sized meal and tell Polly and Melissa sorry, that's all I have? Everyone in the group who doesn't cook, so 7 people before Melissa joined, chips in $25 per meal to whoever hosts. That, until inflation got so bad, covered enough of the food cost to make it feasible. Joan and I have both been simplifying our menus a bit to deal with rising costs, but the idea is to give ourselves and our friends a night off from the humdrum world and pretend we live glamorous, elegant lives. We use fine china and dress nicely and play classical music. Right before Melissa, I was going to ask if we could increase the chip in to $30 a plate. I have the most resources out of anyone in the group, and I can afford to go out of pocket a bit more than Joan. None of the rest have the money, space, or culinary skills to put this together. Joan and I can cook like Julia Child. We are a ragtag lot with a variety of neurodivergences and mental health issues. These meals give us something special to look forward to. Am I a jerk if I serve less food than I know my guests will want? Update. Excrement is hitting the fan right now. I thought I was safe because I knew Polly didn't use Reddit. But apparently Melissa told an online friend about 14-layer lasagna, and that friend saw the post and showed it to her. Stupid me, wanting to show off my culinary prowess. Apparently I'm not the only one this has happened to. I was silly to think it couldn't happen to me. So, Melissa and Polly are at my house now, enraged, and my dad the semi-retired crisis counselor is talking to them whilst I wait downstairs in my suite and cry. Yes, I am hiding behind my parents, but they are calmer and more objective, and I am too anxious to have a rational conversation with Polly and Melissa. Update, it sounds like they've split them off. Dad is in one room talking to Melissa. Mum is in another, talking to Polly. I cannot get close enough to eavesdrop, and my damn cat won't tell me what he's hearing. Might as well take this time to answer some common questions. The chip-in has been $25 per person who doesn't cook. Joan and I never pay, regardless of who hosts. So we have been working off a budget of $175 because the group is 9 people and 7 pay. Last night and this morning we decided to increase the chip-in to $35. As of this moment, Melissa is only invited if she sticks to appropriate portions because no matter how much she pays, the rest of the group does not want to watch her eat like that. Is that mean? I don't know. But, given the yelling from upstairs, I don't know if she or Polly will ever return. For those who think I cannot have sturdy enough furniture. My dad is a very large man. My now deceased Opa and my uncle custom built most of the furniture in the house, least the stuff he would sit on. Dad has lost a lot, but everyone in the family has a good chair or 2 for him to sit on in their homes. Polly has helped me through a lot and has had a very difficult life, so I am loath to upset her. I understand now that I need to grow a spine and that I don't need to be a doormat. I built this group and started the parties in part because restaurants aren't an option for all involved. We have a plethora of mental, physical, and neurospicy health issues going on. One of us has dwarfism and doesn't like being stared at. The parties are our escape from difficult lives. We dress up in vintage glam costumes we've found at thrift stores or made for ourselves and pretend that we are in Golden Age Hollywood or something. It's a big deal, and both Joan and I truly love to cook and host. I like cooking fancy food because I have to cook healthfully the rest of the time for my own weight loss and my diabetic parents. I do not want my parties to turn into salad and lentil fests. I eat that the rest of the time. For whoever suggested a crawdad boil. We are landlocked in Canada. Beef is cheaper than crawdads around here. I haven't cooked much southern soul food, but it's a possibility if we don't include seafood because it costs the earth. Polly sees Melissa's issues as a disability we should accommodate. She compared it to Dad building a wheelchair ramp onto the front porch for my granny and auntie. But I now understand that letting Melissa gorge is not a kindness. It's enabling very dangerous behavior. She could keel over in my dining room, and we do not want to deal with all the paperwork that would create. I honestly did think that everyone who was morbidly obese and addicted to food got that way from trauma because my sister and I did. I wasn't actually deprived of lasagna. Joan and I often share a piece. I've had bariatric surgery and cannot eat much, and Joan prefers salad and bread and only a small portion of something as rich as lasagna. I'll post the recipe once I remember all of it. It's a combo of a few different ones and some right from my head. I'm extremely stressed right now, so remembering ingredients isn't working. I was wrong on Melissa's weight. She's 490 pounds, my bad. I am not good at estimating those things. Please don't call Melissa derogatory names. This is not about hating on fat people. I was looking for advice on how to approach her obesity and food addiction behavior with fairness and compassion. Also, thanks for all the kind and helpful things people said. Some of the douchey ones gave me a laugh, like the idiot who thought 2 enormous lasagnas doesn't feed 10 people. I'll write another post when things are resolved.